You know, I bet I'm going to get a lot of hatred over this one. I posted a thing about Apple computers, and I never liked Steve Jobs. Never did. I don't like some of the seedy things that Apple Incorporated does. I pointed those out the other day. I got so many hateful, vitriolic BS one of them was even a death threat. When I posted a video 2 days ago, just all these irrational, insentient Apple haters. It was absolutely hilarious. I could read all the vitriolic comments because my motto should be, at least it's going to be, compared to what? I just got done reviewing the new 2018 MacBook Air, which is here, by the way. There you go. I was pointing out something interesting on that in the review, and you can check it out because I'm uploading that video right next to this video. And I pointed out something interesting, is that the solid-state drive speed on the new 2018 MacBook Air, people say, it's $1,200. That's so expensive. Well, the one computer that everybody wants to compare that to is either the Dell XPS 13 or the HP Spectre 13. Both of which all three of those computers are very close in price. And let me take a look at something. Here's the solid-state drive speed on the Air. Here's the solid-state drive speed on all the comparable ultra-thin notebooks by HP and Dell and others, the Huawei MateBook. They're not even half as fast. And, yeah, that's kind of, yeah, those are actual bench scores. People say, it's so expensive, and they go, compared to what? Now, unless you buy a $3,500, that's the average price for a Dell or Panasonic Toughbook, which is an enormous, super fat book. Those $3,500. You're not going to find a tougher notebook out there. Everybody knows it, even people that hate Apple. So my question is for all the people that left vitriolic comments the other day. We'll have a little discussion here, why don't we? I bet this video is going to get a lot of downvotes. Is it? Tell me where on this doll here? Where did Apple touch you? Did he where did Apple touch you? Did he touch you? Did Apple touch you in this private spot, or maybe was it over here? Where did Apple touch you? Did he touch you in the dirty spot that made you so irrationally vitriolic? Huh? You know, or maybe you thought that like Apple became a $1 trillion company, due to selling inferior, crappy products. Maybe that's it. Maybe people wanted a simple machine that actually worked, didn't have driver issues. Yeah, you remember those days? Because I grew up building desktop computers and fixing them. Man, I've owned more computers than you could shake a stick. I guarantee you I've owned more computers than you have. Guarantee it, especially notebooks. Man, I'm a notebook slut. Let's talk about some of the reasons. Everybody usually says this stuff, what they said a couple of days ago. I got overpriced MacBooks, goddamn Apple. Let's examine those irrational, baseless claims, and let's see if Apple is really the insane company that it is. Apple MacBooks have undeniably the best screens on their laptop of anybody. They do. There's no denying it, even if you hate Apple. They simply do. Apple, by miles and miles and miles, has the best trackpad. The new enormous haptic trackpads on the new MacBook Pros and Airs beat and blow the hell out of everybody else combined. Even if you hate Apple, this is an undeniable empirical fact. Okay? Here's another fact that everybody keeps forgetting. Apples are so expensive! And I go, compared to what? By the way, those other Ultrabooks compared to the Apple 2018 MacBook Air, they're very, very close in price. So you're going to compare this all-aluminum Wonderbox to those pieces of plastic crap. You're really going to compare that to this? This is a Retina display. It has a Touch ID sensor. It has an enormous haptic feedback trackpad. Are you going to compare that? And those are basically the same price as this is. Here's something people keep forgetting. Apple's far, far superior hassle-free resale. If I were to take this 2018 MacBook Air and that Dell Spectre, no, the HP Spectre is what it is. That's the one. It's the HP Spectre 13 or the Dell XPS 13. if I took all three of those computers and then used them and kept them in minty shape, okay, and then I tried to sell them 2 years from now on eBay, you can't give away a Windows machine. But this unit, I'll sell it instantly. Boom! Sold instantly. So when you say, I got those Apple notebooks, they're so expensive, why don't you try giving away an old Windows notebook / laptop. You can't do it. This Air or a comparable Pro, as long as it's good working shape, got the box and everything, sell it instantly. So tell me again, which one is more expensive? Actually, the Apple notebooks are cheaper. No, they're not. They're cheaper. So that's something everybody keeps forgetting. Well, nobody really understands that, seemingly so. On a seamless ecosystem, because I fought for years with drivers, and everybody did. If you're like 30 years or older, and even current Windows 10 users, MacBook outdoes everybody by a factor of 100 to 1 for seamless ecosystem integration. Headphones, watch, iPhone, iCloud, it's all seamless. Here's something interesting. Every Windows person can identify with this. When something goes wrong, okay? Now, if you're someone like me who's jacked around with laptops and desktops all my life, ever since I was a little frickin' rugrat. Not that young, but close to it. Microsoft makes the software. Dell or Sony or HP or seemingly millions of other manufacturers make the personal computer. Then you have the third-party drivers, okay? And whatever else for the peripherals. When you actually have a problem, everyone points the finger at somebody else. You know what I'm talking about? A peripheral person will blame Windows. It's like, this is a peripheral, right? Let's pretend it's a peripheral. The peripheral person will blame Windows. Windows will blame the computer manufacturer. The computer manufacturer will say, no, you need to call tech support for the peripheral. This is exactly what happens with every Windows machine and every operating system for Windows. You got driver issues out the butt. You know you do. If you don't, then you've never messed with computers that much. It's driver issues and handshake issues, and everybody blames everybody else. You call Windows like, no. That's a problem with your peripheral. Our shit's fine. Here at Windows, everything works. You got some sort of freaky-deaky peripheral. You need to call them. When you call them, it's like, no, our stuff works. The latest Windows operating system is incompatible with our peripheral. Everybody that's messed with computers knows what I'm talking about. You see, you don't really have. Now, there are some rare instances where you do. But they're very quickly resolved. But it's like a factor of 100 to 1. I got tired of fighting with that shit. I got tired of fighting with that crap. And that's combined with the fact that Windows forces its updates on you. You can't opt out of them. Windows forces its updates on you. People really hate that. Even people love Windows. Apple makes upgrading its operating system extremely simple. Microsoft makes it extremely complicated. Microsoft, and this is a fact, and by the way, if you're a gamer, you should just shut up and buy a Windows machine. Okay? Everybody knows it. Every hardcore Apple person. If you're a gamer, the MacBook and the iMac, they're not for you. If you want to sit there with your neck beard, eating Cheetos and scratching your ass, playing some game and pissing your life away, you should buy a Windows machine. Apple computers are not for gamers. Microsoft PCs are for people that love tinkering. I used to tinker with my computers a lot. Not anymore. People love to tinker with their computers. Apple is actually for people that just wants to get their work done. They want to turn it on and, the shit works. Okay? Does that make Apple people lazy? No, it means time is valuable. I used to dick around. It's like you'd be on the phone with tech support trying to figure driver issues out. It'd be incoming. Oh my God, Windows. The reason why all my hair is gone is because I dicked around with Windows operating system for so many years. Okay. I said other than a $3,500 Panasonic or Dell Toughbook, the best made laptops are MacBooks. Inside of a new MacBook Air, by the way, is a piece of pure jewelry. I couldn't even believe it. I've had a lot of MacBooks apart. The iFixit teardown of the new Air is unbelievable. For all notebook users, notebook slash laptop, both PC and Apple, user satisfaction with a MacBook is 4-to-1 over any Windows PC notebook. Fact, undeniable. Macs are actually cheaper in the long run. Sure, you can buy a Windows PC for fewer dollars up front, but the true cost of ownership should and must be calculated based not only upon acquisition cost, i.e. retail price, but the residual value after you sell it or trade it in, also to the frustration factor that you actually have with the damn machine. It's the difference between these two numbers that really tells you what your computer costs to own. Oh, nobody wants to talk about that though, do they? No. Now people say Macs are expensive, but something is only worth what those people are willing to pay for it. And people are always willing to pay more for a Mac, period. Or did you stupidly think that Apple got to be a trillion-dollar company by being stupid, you know? No, people are stupid. Well, I have to admit to you that people are stupid, but people don't actually spend more on a Mac notebook because it's more expensive, or because, oh, yeah, sleek design, you know. Love Steve Jobs. I hate Steve. I never liked Steve Jobs. He's a horrible person. You know, where does that put me? So, also too, you know, you can run Windows on any Mac anyway. So why not get the best of both worlds? Here's something interesting. I'll talk about that in a second. You know, no matter how much you bitch or complain about Apple, people want and do pay more for seamless compatibility with elegant design that has no typical Windows firmware issues, virus issues, all virtually gone with Apple. People want a machine that is simple, elegant, and just works. And they're willing to pay a hair more for that. And like I said, actually, a Mac notebook is actually cheaper, ultimately. It is ultimately cheaper. Like I said, 2-year-old PC, you can't give it away. People just want a machine that just works. This is the cornerstone of Windows crapware, is that there's always a bug, an issue, a virus, a firmware update. There is always an issue. Driver incompatibility, oh my God. It's much better. No, it's not. I've messed around plenty with Windows 8 and 10. You know, people don't want a Windows machine. The reason why Apple makes so much money is because people are sick and tired of a computer that's full of bloatware, shitware, ads, so virus prone. As soon as you buy a new Windows machine, you turn it on, I mean, it's got ads and commercials, and it's taking a big piss right in your face. Turns out people don't like that. Turns out they don't like that. Windows 10 forces software updates on you, bricking hardware, bricking peripherals, slows down your machine. Now, no matter how much you complain about Apple, their operating systems on their computers or desktops and notebooks, they do not force you to download the latest operating system. You don't. It will keep reminding you, it's like, hey, you want to download but you don't have to download the latest operating system. And here's the interesting point. This is what people really forget. The fact is that the cost of Apple machine over Windows machines, this is really important. No one talks about this. The slight cost of Apple machines over Windows machines says a lot more about Windows than it says about Apple. If Windows wasn't such a rectal probe with a porcupine, Apple wouldn't be a trillion-dollar company. People are like, oh my God, this is the truth, okay? No matter what you think about Apple, okay? Let's just talk about the problems with Windows. If Windows wasn't such a porcupine rectal probe, people would say, oh my God, how can I stop using this goddamn Windows machine? Well, we got this nicer computer. It's a lot more reliable. It does cost a couple $100 more than your typical PC. Oh my God, anything to stop using Windows. Ah! People, you see, the reason why the Apple machines, whether it be iMac or MacBook Air or MacBook Pro, they do cost a little bit more. Come on. You know the fit and finish on a MacBook Pro or MacBook Air is far better than any PC crap box. You know it is. You ever opened up a typical 15-inch PC notebook, a piece of polycarbonate plastic crappery? You sit there with the display open. You can hold it. You can see the notebook drooping. Every one of them. I don't know of a single 15-inch PC. It's polycarbonate. You open it up like this. You hold it, and you see it drooping. People are so sick of Windows. Like, I don't care if it costs a few. I'm tired of Windows. I don't want to use that shit no more. To them, paying an extra $200 or $300 more for a computer that just works is worth it. It's not more. And people say, oh my God, those Apple computers are so expensive. Compared to what? Compared to a computer that you pull your hair out on and want to, you know, ever seen one of those cat that drags its ass across the carpet and chews its crotch? You ever seen one of those crazy animals that's got a bug or a virus and it's like chewing at its butt all day long? You got to take it to the vet to keep it from chewing at its butt. That's what happens to people that dick around with computers all day long with Windows operating system on them. People are like, you got to charge me a few $100s more for a much more elegant machine that I never have to dick with this crazy firmware crapware up. You know, oh God, yes, thank you. I will take a Apple computer running Mac OS. It's like, and I mean this literally. When I stopped using Windows machines about 13 years ago, it was like taking my crotch out of a vice. I'd already pulled out all my hair. It is just like taking your crotch out of a vice. You know, it doesn't mean I'm like an Apple fanboy, because I never liked Steve Jobs. There's a lot of crazy-ass stuff that Windows does. That Apple does that I don't agree with them. I'm not some sort of Apple fanboy drinking their stinking Kool-Aid. I'll be the first person to tell you that 99.999% of everybody that works at the Apple Store is a moron. They're idiots. They're knuckle-dragging simians. Those people don't have the brains to crawl out of a hole. People complain about the stupidity they encounter at an Apple store. I'll be like, you're damn right. Everybody that works in an Apple store is a former Best Buy flunky. And let me repeat that. Everybody at an Apple store is basically a former, I know a lot of examples where this is true, former Best Buy flunky. I'll be the first person to say that. So just don't call me an Apple fan. You're in love with that overpriced Apple computer. What's overpriced about it? Compared to what? A piece of crap Windows machine made out of recycled condoms? You know, and every time you got an issue, Windows blames the peripheral. The peripheral people blame the computer maker. The computer maker blames the operating system, i.e. Windows. You know, you can't get anything done. You don't have any of those problems with freaking Apple. See, is it a little bit more expensive? Yeah, not really. Is it worth it? Oh, fuck yes, it is. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this video. If you do, you can click the link below. Either way, you can hate this video. I don't care. Everything I said is the truth. I've used more computers than you have. I've owned more computers than you have. I've fixed more computers than you have. Tell me how much you hate me. I'm still right. Boom. Mic drop. Yeah, I said it. Oh, dear.